Hi, Pat here. I have a Scott R357 stereo receiver. I could find very little on this thing, nothing on the internet. A few guys on the sites will say it's about 60 watts per channel, made mid-70s sometimes. It's not a bad looking stereo. Yeah, look at the back here. It's funny because it's got the 3-prong plug. Made in Korea. I checked all the fuses. The speaker fuses are good, but I'm only getting music on half of this. Turn it on. Nothing out of the left side. Let's take a look at the inside. Here's the inside of the stereo. This little section there is the power supply. Got the power amp board. It uses the TO3 transistors, which I'm glad you can find those. The tuner board. And a couple big caps there. They're 50 volts, 10,000 microfarads. And on the back here, on the bottom, input selector. I kind of take a little preamp there, and that's the tone control board. I got the amp board loose out of this thing, got all the caps out, and since I ain't got a schematic or anything, I took a black and white picture of it and marked down all the polarities and all the values of all the caps. Now I'm going to start replacing them. I got the amp board recapped and installed back in, but I broke a transistor, broke 2 of the legs off, and this is what it was originally. Had a little heat sink wrapped around it, and they were mounted in right there to the heat sink, one for each channel. To replace those 2 transistors, I got one that was just a little bit bigger of a package. Drilled a hole into the heat sink, screwed it down there, put a little silicone pad and some heat sink grease in there, and the pinouts weren't the same, so I had to do a little creative wiring there and there just to get things to the right spot. I'm not getting sound out of the left channel, so I got my probes hooked up to the input of the amp board. And my scope over here, and turn the volume up all the way, and I'm only getting signal on one side. I disconnected the input wire to the amp board and turn on, turn the volume up, and I'm still getting nothing from that side, so the problem doesn't seem to be on the amp board. I got the tone control board loose. It's got the volume, balance, treble and bass on it. And I got it all recapped. I did find 2 little problems though. I did find a couple of these low caps. It's 4.7 microfarad caps. It had an ESR of 36 ohms. Very, very high. Found a few of them like that. Here's a new one. And has an ESR of 10, 11. That's about right. There's a couple that were too big. It might have been killing that signal. Could be why it was getting no sound of that left channel. I got this stereo back together. Put a little music to it. And it's playing quite fine. Sounds good. And I got both channels now. There's one other little thing I found. Get a shot of the inside here. All this heat sink right here, this big transistor, all the power goes through that. With my heat gun, look at that. Transistor itself doesn't run quite as hot. But still, I think I can replace that transistor and maybe put a bigger heatsink on it. I put more of a heavy duty transistor in there. Add this heatsink to it. I've been running it for a little while. And it's where the transistor is running right now. That's a little more respectable. And the heatsink, 157, it's still down almost 40 degrees. Thing was hitting almost 200, so that should be a lot better. I got the new filter caps installed. Got the faceplate back on. And I got it hooked up to my dummy loads, my voltmeter. And my scope of my function generator. Let's turn it on. And turn the volume up all the way. Let's volume up all the way. Nice clean sine wave. And I got 22 and 20.5 volts on my voltmeters. 22 would be right around 60 watts. 21 is closer to 55 watts. Not as quite strong of a channel, but still pretty good. I got a square wave going through it now. Square wave looks pretty good. And let's turn the bass down. And turn the bass all the way up. Treble down. Treble all the way up. And the loudness on. And the loudness off. Pretty much what I expected. Now I got a sweep wave going from 20 Hertz to 20,000 Hertz. And it looks pretty clean all the way through. And now take in the other room, hook up to the turntable and the tape deck and some good speakers and see how it sounds. I got everything hooked up to this thing now. Right now I'm on FM. In the shelter of
highly ranked online programs, you'll earn the same degree as our on-campus.
Try a little AM.
Wonderful! See, it's great news. This is a wonderful.
Sure. More things. And but the hard thing right now is
Got a record playing. And I got tape going. The stereo came out real nice and sounds good and looks good. Thanks for watching.